Greetings, gamer guys and gals. Welcome to part 37 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 5 Thracia 776. And in today's episode, we're finally going to be visiting this church with Leaf. My goodness, we owe you and your forces quite the debt. Your decision to aid us is the only reason any of us still draw breath. Please accept this gift as a token of our gratitude. Restore staff received. Very nice. Thank you, Bishop. If you'll excuse us, my men and I must be on our way. Where are you headed, might I ask? We ride for Leonster. Is that so? I've a favor to ask of you, then. A disciple of mine, Shroff, left here on something of a personal journey. If you happen to cross paths, do send word that the lad is all right. That said, I offer you to send you part way there with my warp staff. I can teleport you to one of two places. The first is Millfield Forest, which is the south of Leonster. Be warned, there's a reason it has the nickname Mirage Forest. The second is Nordheim, the coastline that runs all the way to Leonster, but you'd have to breach the fort the Empire has there. Which way shall I send you? Alright, so this is very important. Fort Nordheim and Millfield Forest. Millfield Forest is the right direction, had you gone that way instead. Fort Nordheim is the left. Fort Nordheim is Route A, whereas Millfield is Route B. B is easier and has better items, but far less good recruitments, and Route A is much more difficult, but has better units to recruit, as well, less good items. There are still some good things that you can get through some tricky means, and some of which are much easier to get in this route, kind of, but there are still better items in Route B, including that Vouge I was talking about. We're going to be going through Fort Nordheim. I would love to show Millfield Forest at some point. Maybe I'll do like I was thinking about potentially doing like a B route run of this game, no guidance included. So literally zero guidance. We're not getting a single one. I'll probably end up doing that at some point because that would be the most difficult you could play this game at. Besides the fact that I'll still be keeping it on Paragon mode because I love Paragon mode. Route B with no, well, I don't know if Route B would be the most difficult in that setting with no guidance. Maybe, we'll see. But we're going to be going Route A, so it doesn't matter. Chapter 16. Acting on the advice of Dorius, Leaf made for Leonster by way of the coast. However, traveling along such an exposed public road had its price. The army would have to breach Fort Nordheim on an Imperial base. There, House Frege had deployed an elite battalion of soldiers, determined to stop the Liberation Army in its path. We have quite the incredible battle ahead of us. We got the full pan of this entire area, and we have a lot of things we must do, including visit some houses with certain characters, and yeah, we have a couple of different armies to take on. We have an army of reinforcements that will come over here and hound us as we make our way to the east, but it's going to be very, very inconsequential, most likely. Here's Ilios. Ilios is a unit by which you can only recruit on the A route. He's quite the incredible unit. Looking at his stats, literally quite the incredible unit. He has a follow-up critical modifier of 0. He's one of the very few combative units in this game who does have such a low follow-up critical modifier. The only way to recruit him is to not have Olwen in your party, and to recruit him with Karen. I'm not exactly sure as to why Karen is the one who must recruit him, because there is no inclination that you would have to. You would be able to recruit him with or with Karen, so it's kind of interesting. He's got some pretty busted stats and some very decent growths, as well as the fact that he has an A rank in swords and in thunder magic, which is amazing. 3 authority stars and 1 vigor star. 8 movement is pretty incredible. I'm going to be attempting to get everything I can off of this unit, including that soul manual. Would absolutely love to get that for specific units in my party. He himself has Miracle, which is a luck times 3% chance to avoid all fatal damage for the rest of combat, and Soul, skill percentage chance for an attack to heal for damage dealt. With 14 luck, that means he has a 42% chance to dodge any lethal blow, which is kind of a wild one. And then we can see another boss here, Nikolov. I do believe he leaves this chapter. He has literally no weapon on him. And then we also have Kempf, the Mage Knight. Kempf has Anchor and Miracle Plus, so that's kind of an interesting little tidbit there. We do have some bishops. We have a bunch of ballista to have to deal with, so some of our units are going to be rendered kind of useless in this chapter. There is, however, a way to trivialize this chapter, and that is by sending someone all the way over yonder through warp and KOing Brooke here and just seizing immediately. He does come with a Master Lance, I believe. Now, we have seen Master Lances before. We do actually have one, I think. Having a 1-2 range Brave weapon is kind of busted. The Master Axe and the Master Lance are just this. The Master Sword, I feel like the Master Sword was done a little bit badly because it's only 1 range, and the Master Bow is only 2 range. I guess I can kind of understand why those things are, because the Brave Bow is like the best weapon in the entire game, statistically wise. And swords have tons of magical ranged options, so it's not like they needed them. It needed one more, but either way. This boss is not all too threatening if you deal with him with a magical unit, and that's exactly what we are going to be doing. Ilios is going to be a bit of a terror, so we're going to have to deal with that. We do have a couple of units here who have sleep edges. So there are sleep edges you can get in Route B, and technically easier, but they are more abundant in Route A. We do absolutely want to gather at least one of these. I am going to attempt to get all 3, but I'm going to try at least one, because they are incredibly powerful tools. Puts the target to sleep on hit. Targets on thrones or gates are immune. This is kind of wildly busted, and the fact that we're facing them off right here is kind of crazy. There's a couple of different ways you can steal these sleep edges, but there's only one particularly surefire way, and that is to put these targets to sleep themselves and then capture them. And that's pretty much what we're going to be doing. Other than that, I do have to go ahead and work on the items of all of my units. So we'll be back in just a few. Alright, and this is whom we are bringing and the items that we have on each and every one of our units. I have kind of painstakingly gone over not only my units, where I'm going to put them, what I'm going to do with them, and kind of the strategy of this whole chapter. This one's a bit of a long one. We will definitely be going to at least turn 20 so that I can still steal the Nihil manual that arrives on a reinforcement boss. Other than that, we are pretty well ready to go. Chapter 16, Nordheim.
Kempf, For your sake, I hope you are prepared for anything.
Leave everything to me, Colonel Nikolov. These rebel may have the gall to call themselves a liberation army, but they are no stronger than a pack of bandits. My division shall shatter their delusions of grandeur with ease.
With ease, you say? Get your head on straight, boy. Are you not the very man who abandoned his post and left his men to die at Fort Dundrum? You scurried home with your tail between your legs, brought shame to your uniform, and you still have the audacity to be arrogant? These men are the Lanzenritter of Leonster. Prince Leif leads their vanguard, and they're within spitting distance of their motherland. Their morale is higher than the damn clouds. Underestimate them and you're as good as dead.
You have my apologies, Colonel.
Save it, Kemp. Just do as I say. I need you and your division to stay on the bridge. Guard it with your life. The ballista in the rear will help hold your position. No matter what, don't move out of their range. You got that? It's an order. Stick with the ballista.
Yes, sir.
Now, it may seem like we're on the defensive, but we're just biding our time. The real battle will begin when our reinforcements arrive. When the Knights of Ulster get here, we'll have the rebels surrounded from the front and back. We'll trap them in a pincer attack and crush the enemy in one fell swoop.
What? The Knights of Ulster are to be our reinforcements?
The very same. Count Connemore is bringing nearly 100 men. The rebels will be ambushed by the mightiest army in North Thracia.
I see. So Connemore is to get all the glory then? No, this won't do at all. The rebels must die by my hands, and mine alone.
My prince, the scout we sent ahead has returned. He brings word of the enemy's formation.
The perimeter of Fort Nordheim is protected by ballista. We won't be able to seize it without doing something about them. Unfortunately, that bridge is the only way across the river, and it's being defended by a battalion of heavily armored knights. To make matters worse, attacking the bridge would put us within the range of the enemy's ballista. Then our only option is to lure the knights out of the ballista's range. I doubt any subterfuge would convince them to move far enough away. They have a far superior position, and they know it. Perhaps, but it's still worth considering. Surely there's some way of tricking them away from the bridge.
Leave that task to me, Lord Leif. I have a history with their commander. I'm certain I can lure him away from the bridge, and his troops will be forced to follow.
Just what are you proposing, Owen? I won't allow you to put yourself in such grave danger.
Then I ask it from you as a favor, Prince. I want to help you just as you helped me.
Alright, so this is going to be a bit of a wild ride, to say the least. Luckily, I think I'm pretty well prepared for such a fiasco as this. We're going to be putting some folks to sleep. I can literally put Ilios to sleep, and we're probably going to be doing that in short order. It seems kind of a bit, I want to say, lackluster to just take this boss and completely trivialize him like this, but if you have a unit who's capable of using a sleep staff at this point, like Safi, and who has enough magic to do so, or you use the ensorcel staff to make that unit have enough magic to do so, I would strongly recommend it as probably the best course of action against Ilios. Ilios is wildly powerful, I showed him off beforehand, and he can pretty well destroy your team. We do have to burn 2 sleep staff uses here. I was thinking about a third, but the only problem is I cannot recall if you even get another sleep staff in this game. So it would be very unfortunate to burn 3 uses, though it would give me 2 sleep edges. I'm still considering that matter. First and foremost, we're going to put Ilios to sleep. And he is snoozing. When you put a unit to sleep, that unit loses all of his combative stats, which is pretty wild. He also dismounts if he's mounted, and what this means is that Ilios is now no longer a threat, and we can capture him, getting all 4 of these items, which is perfectly awesome, in my humble opinion. Now, I am going to be leaving Parn and Ocean to the rear of this army, and reason being is because both of them are going to be dealing with the reinforcements to the rear that we're going to have to deal with later on. Specifically, I don't really think it's going to be that big of a deal to worry about at this moment. So we are going to go ahead and get this house, of course. Very nice that Parn activated that movement star. Is he close to leveling? Yes, he is. I don't think he actually needs... We'll keep the Paragon Sword on him for the time being. And we can move you up, as well as pretty much the rest of the army. We are also going to dance for Safi, because Safi needs to be doing some more staffing. Alright. Let's see. Sleep. Yeah, so one thing you can do with Ilios is you can burn a silent staff on him instead, therefore making it so that he can only use the Master Sword. It would allow you to get away with not having to deal with him completely, but I want his items. If it wasn't for the fact that I want his items, I wouldn't even be bothering to do this. Because Safi has more than 10 skill, she cannot miss with the sleep staff here. And what that does mean is that these units will go to sleep, because they all have lower magic than Safi does. I mean, 2 magic is pretty pathetic. Some of these units have wildly different stats. Even Ilios cannot withstand the full force of a wonderful old sleep. I am going to be using bolting. Not exactly right at this moment, but I will shortly. Fergus can move on up. My flyers, however, are going to be moving to the right. Very unfortunately, Dean was dismounted in a previous chapter, and because of it, it kind of made him a little bit less great for this chapter. Let's just put it that way. We'll equip a steel lance for the time being, and Edda can go and join as well. We have to make sure that she's not going to be in the range of that ballista. She will get 1 shot for sure. And Ocean can sit here, and that is our turn. Ooh, Marita taking some massive damage there. I can't believe he just got a crit on her.
Father Shrove, seems a battle has broken out just outside, an awfully big one at that. It's too dangerous for a man of the cloth. You'd best stay here a while longer. It'd be my pleasure to have you, it would.
Very well. Loath as I am to impose upon your kindness, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. We must visit that house with good old Leaf. And once we do, we will have ourselves a gloriously new unit. Bolting. Goodbye. Alright, so we are definitely going to have to heal up Marita. That was wildly just crazy that she got crit there. And Asbel is capable of topping off pretty much anyone in this game. Great sword. I'm wondering if that guy had like a killer lance or something. Alright, so Slim Sword. We're going to do 11 damage times 2. Do I want to chance that? If I do chance it, I'm going to have to use a different unit to finish up. We could just use the Paragon Sword here. I don't think it's going to be really that big a deal. Oh, very nice.
Are you folks the heirs to House Leonster? Does this mean our kingdom is to be reborn? Ah, here, take this pure water. I know we're not much in the way of help, but know that we pray for your victory.
Thank you. I do not need a pure water, but I will always accept a gift. Alright. We gotta get rid of this bolting here. Put a fire on her for the time being, because otherwise we're going to have a bit of a problem dealing with being attacked up close. Selfina showing her worth, as she has for quite a while. We haven't really gotten to use that brave bow, but that will change soon. We don't need to ensorcel you. Would be nice experience points, but we definitely don't need to do so. Alright, Ocean. You can sit... I'm pretty sure Conamore is going to be right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, he does have 10 movement. So we're going to sit right outside of his range and prepare to deal with the enemies. Now I think... Let us see. Alright, so as my decision is, I am going to use this other sleep staff to put another unit to sleep. This means that we're going to be getting 2 sleep edges and then all the items on Ilios. I thought about it, and it just kind of makes no sense to not do so, just because of the fact that a sleep edge has 10 uses. We get 2 of those, we're going to be able to put 20 units to sleep. Now, I don't even think we're going to need that many particularly, but what it would allow us to do is not have to use things like the sleep staff, or worry about that particularly. Damn it all. Now I'm serving in that buffoon's vanguard? Where did I go so wrong? Are all commoners like me just doomed to be pawns of the nobility? I do think it's kind of funny that he's talking there, when there's no way that he could necessarily, because he's asleep. We just have to be very careful of this unit here. Ever since this place got swallowed up by King Bloom, nothing's gone right around here. Oh, how I miss the days when Leonster reigned over this land. Back then I worked away from home and had to travel a long way every morn, but the roads were peaceful and my journeys were, thankfully, uneventful. Now I can't even leave my home for fear of getting a knife between my ribs. I doubt I'll ever need to this key again, so you can have it. Mayhap you'll get some use out of it. Alright, I do not actually think I brought a restore staff here. Or did I? No, not likely. Nope, I did not. So we just have to keep out of the range of this guy entirely. Oh, that's kind of unfortunate, but we can take care of him next turn. One way we actually could make sure that we could take care of him is rescuing and taking and dropping. That will allow us to make sure that we have the range to do so. And Parn needs to move back over with Ocean. Alright, Dean can take care of all of the reinforcements to this south. We're going to be dealing with reinforcements there as well. And Etta and Karen can deal with some of these units over here. Now, we do have to be very careful about dealing with said units, but we should be able to take care of just about all of them with just Karen and Etta, which will help. It's always good to take care of stragglers. And let's equip the Dragon Pike for the time being. And Ocean can sit here. He's done. Alright, I think Karen has this pretty well in the bag. Alright, so we do have to deal with the fact that we have Rider's Banes here. That's not exactly a great thing, so we're going to have to be careful about our mounted units. In fact, what we could do is dismount, and I think that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's whip out a... do I want to do Dire Thunder? I think I actually do. Let's go ahead and do Dire Thunder. Alright, Olwen. I think you'll be A-okay taking out the rest of this squadron. In fact, I think she'll be okay doing that by herself. So we're going to wait just one extra moment here. Let's make sure we are mindful of where everybody can go. Alright, so right there. We can move a little bit forward with Salfina. Get rid of the short bow, finally. I love the fact that weapons like... well, any weapon particularly will not break in the middle of combat. Perfect. So now we can just move up slightly with everybody else. It's better to be safe than sorry, so moving up Laura like I did isn't necessarily a bad thing. What we could do... I was going to... No, I can't. I cannot put Salfina in the range of any of these guys without her also being in the range of others. Which is kind of a bit of a sad situation, I would say. We would definitely like it if she was closer, getting some more experience points. We do have other units here that also need experience points, like Safi and... or not Safi, Salem and whatnot, but I think we'll be fine. We also do not want to visit this house with anybody but Leaf, very particularly. So you... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, we can move forward. Perfect. And we are not in the range of any of these units here. We can visit this house as well. We do have an arena here, but we're not going to use it.
Your reputation precedes you. I hear you've been fighting to liberate Thracia. I offer you a token from my days in the knighthood, a master seal. Go on, take it. A gift from one soldier to another. You keep that close at hand till the day Thracia stands free. Never give up, you hear?
Thank you. We actually need this. I have a couple of units who would very well appreciate being able to finally promote. I do believe Salem is one. Salem is the only one in my current party that needs promotion. I think everybody else is okay. I'm not planning on promoting Edda. There is also Finn, but I usually only leave him as a promotion in case I get enough Master Seals to promote him specifically. So now we're going to go ahead and let Olwen enemy phase all of these morons, which should be great because she has the Dire Thunder equip and Vantage, so she's just going to attack them all first. This is why I gave her Vantage, because having a Brave weapon that is 1-2 range preferential, as well as that is magical, is mighty strong for her capacity to take on swaths of enemies. I would say that combatively wise, with Dire Thunder and Vantage, I think Olwen is she's definitely in the top 10 combat units in this game. Maybe top 5, but I think that's stretching it. Dire Thunder is a great tome, but it is not the best tome. Very nice level up. Like I said before, I want her to be at around 9 or 10 Constitution. 9 particularly at max. I would not want her being any higher than that, because then she would slow down units that she is being carried by. With that being said, though, I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to go ahead and end off this episode. I do want to thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe depending on your platform. And while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.